Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run. My iPad's talking to me. I forgot I had
Ah,
the sound on. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle and run a profitable business that's fun to run. Today's Tuesday, so we're here with our social media marketing guru, Miss Terry Johnson, TJ Online Everywhere, all the way from New York City. We want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. She's on the road today. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax, let's get some nuggets on how to run a profitable business that's fun to run. We hope you'll make sure you notify your friends, let them know we're getting ready to start this conversation because business is booming. How you doing this morning, TJ?
I'm doing well. How are you, Carolina? I hope
All is
everybody can
well.
hear me well.
All is
Okay.
well. We actually had rain here in California, so we're kind of excited.
Oh,
It's
good.
fire season, so anytime we get some rain, we're
Yeah,
cool.
rain
Rain
is
is
good. I don't know why people go, oh, it's raining. I'm like, rain is
I,
good. That's how
I
things
love
grow and we eat, you
I
know?
love the rain. Yeah. Hey, how you doing this morning, Pat? Pat's in here
Hey,
from North
Pat.
Carolina.
Hi. There she is. Hey, Pat. Glad to see you. I hope things are working well with both the Durham Skywriter. I want to say, oh, Bull City Notes is her show. I
Yes,
was getting ready to say Durham Bull.
because she goes as the Durham Skywriter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and we talked a little bit last week about her, things that's going on with her and her newsletter and her show. So, I hope you guys watched last week's show and that you enjoy it and let us know your comments, your thoughts, your questions, because here to help. And as Carolina said, we're here to talk about marketing on Tuesdays, digital marketing, which means content marketing, social media marketing, SEO, branding, email marketing, and website. And so, did I say social media? Yeah, I did.
Yes.
I did. So, all of those things are in the mix for digital marketing. And
Hmm.
really, we've been talking the last maybe 2 months almost. I've been trying to talk about content as a whole because I feel like that's an important key to you being successful online with your business and your brand and trying to market it everywhere. Because I'm in a lot of business groups and everything, and most people's complaint or their issue is that they don't get anyone to pay attention to their content. Like, I'm
Uh,
just talking online and nobody's there, and
okay.
I'm really saying people are there. It's just that you're looking for hundreds of thousands. You're looking to go viral.
Hmm.
Hey, Kevin is here. Hey,
Hmm.
and Pat, did you see Pat's comment? She said our she said our baseball team.
Whoop.
Oh, okay. Our baseball team is the Durham Bulls. See, I know it was
Okay.
Bulls or something in there. I couldn't remember. I know it was like Durham Bulls and stuff like that. So, but that's what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks because that's important. We're in the middle of a pandemic and we're not going to talk about that. We've been talking about that. I'm tired of the topic, but
I
what you
get
really
it.
need to, yeah, right. We kind of, let's look at what we have to do today
Hmm.
because before this year, oh, and Gabby's here.
Gabriella's here.
Hey,
Yes.
Gabby. So before this year, we used to
Hmm.
talk about marketing trends, and then in January we always talked about what are the trends for the coming year. Like, so this year, January 2020, we were like, oh, the digital trends, digital marketing trends for 2020, and then the pandemic happened and it just threw everything out the window. So now people are going, well, what do we do? Basically you're going to have a strategy. We talked about that, but you're going to stick with it, but you have to be flexible now because everything
Hmm.
changes in a day or even hours, because there's the TikTok thing going on. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with that. Microsoft is trying to buy it. They said Twitter, now they're saying Oracle is throwing their hat in the ring to buy TikTok. TikTok is this popular girl at the social media dance. TikTok is this popular. TikTok is
Everybody
a
wants to
popular
dance
girl at
with
the
her.
dance. Yeah, TikTok is the homecoming queen at the dance that everybody wants to dance with. Everybody wants to talk to the hot girl at the dance. So that's what TikTok is right now. Why? Because and it has to do with today's topic, which is attention marketing.
Okay.
Attention marketing. So that's a new one that well, it's not new, but the term is new. And I don't see a lot of people talking about this term. So we're going to talk about it here. But basically, the attention marketing is getting attention to your content online, getting some eyeballs, getting people to see it, like it, share it, and the gold ring is to comment. That's the creme de la creme. What we want to have is a comment, because that and not a bot comment. There's tons of bots giving comments, troll comments, spam comments, whatever you want to call it. Those are bots that people buy. These companies or people have, and they say, hey, we can get you comments, or we can get you this if you pay whatever a month, and people go, sure. But the comments are spam, because you can tell. It's like, hey, we like this content, or hey, great job, or this is nice, or wow, or cool. Those kind of things. Those are spam comments, and we don't want those. Why? Because there's empty calories. There's nothing behind it, right? So that we don't want, but we do want comments from your audience, from real people who read and engaged with your content, and they connect with it, and they're like, hey, I have something to say. But here on the other side of this, realize that when you put content out online, you may not hear anything. You may hear crickets, but that doesn't mean that no one connected with it or engaged with it or got value or they received value from it. Okay, so we're going to talk about all that today. But before I do that, welcome to the discussion. This is where we encourage you to bring your thoughts, your opinions, your questions, your comments. We love that. It's an interactive place over here, and we love it when the chat is lively. So hopefully we'll have that today. And also we ask you to share this out on whatever platform you're on. I'm not going to mention any platform because we're in multiple places. And today we're in an extra place on Twitch. So I didn't even check to see what's going on with Twitch. Okay. But hey, Twitch, I put Twitch in the mix today.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I'm mad about it.
Yeah, so Twitch, we'll talk a little bit about that too.
Okay.
But really just, do us a favor, share this out. Let's bring more people to the conversation. As I said before, the chat is always lively. We'll have Mark show up or Carlos. Anytime I call those guys' names, they always show up. Gabby's here, Pat's here, more people are here. So, just let us know where you are, because we do have a global audience. And that's one of the great things about being online or being on social media, using things like StreamYard and Facebook Live, producer and all of that, is that you get to reach people outside of your local area where you are, and even your country, because we're in the US, but we get people in Scotland and Ireland and other places.
Italy.
UK. Yeah, Italy. I always forget about Italy. Yes, don't want to forget about them. But that's what you have to. So see, don't let that idea that, okay, we're a global, it's a global platform and anybody can join. Don't let that stop you or make you afraid of being online like we are, because you're going to make more connections. Think of this as the 2020 version of PayPal, of Pen Pal. Remember Pen Pals? When I was in school, I was just so excited because you'd sign up for a Pen Pal program and you would get a letter from anywhere in the world, and you would just conversate and have a conversation and write back and forth. But you had to write and send it in air mail, and we're not going to talk about the mail, but you would have to send it and wait. Now you don't have to. All you have to do is go live. And Gabby's here. Gabby says, loving StreamYard, I upgraded. Right.
I'm so excited for you.
That's congratulations. StreamYard is a great tool to use. I've told several people too that were trying to do stuff on YouTube. I have a friend of mine in California that she was doing her show on YouTube, and then she would set up a iPad for Periscope, and she set up her phone for Instagram and this and that. And so
wow.
there were complaints about like the quality of sound because she had different devices around, but the sound quality was down for one. So I said, listen, you need to get on StreamYard. You go live in one place, and StreamYard distributes it for you on all the platforms. So that's cool. Oh, Gabby says, I had a pen pal in Brazil. We met 40 years later here in Miami.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. That is so
That's so
cool.
cool.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That's great. And see, that's something, getting in today's topic, that's something Gabby could work into her business, talking about that to get attention marketing. Because here's another thing. People are saying, well, what do I post online? Because now remember, all our social media platforms, you can post in your feed. Like for Instagram, for example, is a great example of this. So Instagram, there are now 5 different places to post. You post in your feed. That's the feed that you see, the posts you see when you go to Instagram and they come up. That's the feed. But there's also a place to post in stories at the top, the little circles. There's also a place now for reels, which is the video that they're trying to integrate to siphon off the TikTok users. And is we talked about it. We talked about that on Friday. So it's not going very well for Instagram. I mean, they're using it, but the people that use TikTok are going, I don't want to use this reels because it's not a true representation of the experience I get with TikTok. It's a whole different experience, but it's there. So also you got DMs. You can have a private message between one or more people. You can have a group. You can have a private group. There's so many and IG. Almost forgot about IGTV, which is where you upload your video that's longer than 60 seconds, longer than a minute. So all of those places, and you're like, well, I need to get attention. And here's Gabby. Gabby says, not feeling real. See, it's not. I'm just a messenger. Nobody's really feeling it because it was hyped up to be this TikTok competitor, and it's not. It's really not. It's just, we talked about this on Friday, so it was like confusing to use. People aren't liking the way that it works. It's not intuitive. TikTok, you pretty much go in, there's a following and a For You page, and they pretty much, it's like going to a buffet and getting what you want automatically instead of you putting your plate together. Like, okay, the buffet, the all you can eat, crab legs and shrimp, but after you get one plate, you got, oh man, I gotta get up and fix another plate. TikTok isn't like that. It's pretty much you go in, you open the app, and like I said, I think we talked about this a lot on Friday. It gives you the things that you like. So when you like videos with a heart, or there's an option to like this video, show me more, TikTok shows you more. So, I mean, but that's a way of getting attention. That's a way of getting attention because why? The app is easy to use. It gives you what you want. You don't have to work hard for it versus Reels, which is confusing. There's a menu on the left. Like what you have to tap the filter before you go live, before you record. And then when you get to the end of the recording, you can do little clips, but at the end, Reels won't tell you that you're finished. It just closes. And I'm like, what the heck? Then it asks you, do you want to save as a draft? You save it as a draft. Well, where the heck are the drafts?
After you
have
save
to go, you have to go back to your Instagram account.
Do you have to go back to your photos to find it?
No, you have to go to your profile. So you have to tap on the picture of you I think at the bottom, and then there's a menu at the top right, and then you go to Reels, because Reels is a tab within your profile.
Really?
Yeah, that's what
you tell you that? Do they tell you that?
No. And see, it's not just me. Here's Gabby. I'm glad Gabby is putting in her comments. It's annoying that you can't shut Reels off in the feed. I'll stick the cat videos on TikTok. See, it's not It's not the same as TikTok.
It's not intuitive at all.
No. I mean, it's just like, it shouldn't be that hard. Instagram. But see, they created Reels instead of buying. They usually buy an app or a company, and this time they created their own feature.
I think too. I don't know why. This is off topic too. I'm sorry. I don't know why Facebook is so clunky when they put stuff out. It's like you have to search for stuff when they make changes.
Yeah. Facebook had an app called Lasso that was supposed to be
15 seconds or something.
Yeah, supposed to be closer to TikTok. It didn't work, so they got rid of it. Tachi on our Friday show, the Tech Diva, she always says that Facebook is a master of none, which means that they try this and that, but they never fully master anything. So Facebook is big enough and they have enough cash to buy companies or to create a division to copy a feature from another app. Like they want to copy TikTok. So I'm pretty sure they wanted to buy TikTok, and it earlier, before all of this, that Facebook probably wanted to buy it, and for whatever reason they didn't buy it. So now here we are today, where 45, the guy in the White House, is blocking, or I'm going to ban it in September 15th, blah blah blah. He wants a piece of the pie when they sell it. He wants money. When I say piece of the pie, he wants Microsoft or whoever buys TikTok to give the government money for buying it.
I don't know if that's really a norm. Has that ever been a norm for the government?
It hasn't been. No.
I never heard of it.
I'm not talking about taxes. I'm not talking about corporate taxes and all the other stuff that a corporation has to pay when there's a merger or a buyout. No, he wants money.
Piece of the sale price.
He wants a piece of not a piece of the sale price per se, but he wants the company to pay the government for allowing this to happen. I don't know the details. It's all in his mind.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around the concept, because having been a government employee, I know that we are definitely nonprofit, and
right. He wants a kickback. Basically.
And that's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just sounds so foreign.
Gabby says, I wonder if Facebook was the other company trying to buy TikTok during the ban era. They mentioned Microsoft and another company. Yes.
Oracle?
Gabby.
Was it? Is it
Oracle is they're into networks. Like they create networks and wiring and stuff. So they're not really they are a software company, but it's not consumer based. They do more things with network, like corporate networks and how the system is structured. So now, who do we have in play for TikTok? Microsoft, Twitter, that they say they want to buy, but we said on Friday, I said Twitter doesn't have enough capital cash on hand to buy it. Right. They don't have enough. So we have Oracle, which probably they might have enough. TikTok has been the valuation is like 50 billion.
50 what?
I've heard 50 billion. I've heard different numbers of like what it's worth. What is TikTok worth?
Yeah, it's high.
Yeah. So I heard different numbers. That 50 billion is one that stands out. Truly, we don't know the value because we're on the outside looking in. But it's and you're going to look at TikTok and say, what's going to happen September 15th? I don't know. Hopefully it sticks around, because it's a great app. It's just it was owned by a Chinese company. That's the issue. And there's the threat of security for the United States. So that's why the guy in the White House is doing all this, because he's saying, oh, it's a threat to national security, and I can write an executive order to ban it. So that's why we're in this boat. It's very confusing, guys. If you don't follow, financial news or tech news and stuff this closely, this is the reason why. It's because the data that they collect, they say that they have it they have servers in US, but they also have them in Singapore. So the idea of buying TikTok is if Microsoft bought it everything, all the information will be stored here, and there wouldn't be
So,
any access from the Chinese government.
okay, so my question is, so what about all the previous information?
Well, see, that would have to be worked out in the deal. But if they have it, they're not going to turn it over.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Right.
Isn't this sort of like closing the barn door? The horse is already out. What's up?
Yeah, but see, if you haven't signed up for TikTok and then Microsoft buys it on September 15th, and when they transition everything to Microsoft, that's when you can set up an account worry free. See, this is the thing. It's not just TikTok. I said this in the beginning. We've been talking about TikTok for almost 18 months or more. I said in the beginning that TikTok's not the only app that's problematic on your phone. Problematic meaning gathering data. How many times has Facebook been slapped on the wrist for gathering information on minors, on this or that, and not telling you? WhatsApp has a security issue that's not been fixed, but people love WhatsApp. There's WeChat. There's also talk about WeChat, being a part of this ban that's being politicized. Because like Carolina said, we've never been in these waters, because usually when companies are talking about buyouts and merger, the government is there, but only for you must meet this regulation, not for payment. So
not with their handout talking about we're at the table too and we want to cut. I never heard anything like that.
There's a lot of things in the last 4 years we've never heard of, like the post office. I'm not gonna bring it up, but that's, hey, it's been 200 years or more, and nobody's bothered to service.
Okay, so and I'm telling you, if we go private, you don't like mailing stuff for $7 a letter.
It's really gonna be. It's gonna be hard.
Yes, is not pretty.
Yeah, so just pay attention, guys, to what's going on in the news when you hear stories about the post office. If there's a thing to sign or petition or whatever, read it carefully, and if you want to sign it, then sign it. But don't just sit idly by going, it'll never happen. That was said. That was said in Germany in the 40s, in the 30s and the 40s. Oh, that'll never happen. You know the end of that story. So I'm not saying that it's the same, but you can't sit back and go.
But things are gradual. Yes.
Yes. Because if you remember your history, things with that led up to the Second World War started gradually. There were people saying, "Oh, that can't happen. Oh, he can't do that," and they did it. So.
And how do you boil a frog?
Just
keep raising the temperature just a little. They're comfortable with that.
You don't feel it. Yeah, a lobster. They don't. Yeah, it's a slow boil. That's what they call it. Okay. So let's talk about attention marketing.
Yes.
So. Because we've been talking about content and laying the foundation for you guys to be successful with your content. Hold on, Gabby's got one more thing before we get in. Let's talk about it. What was done about Apple's report that IG was accessing iPhone cameras? Because Apple has they have a new iOS beta, and one of the features is if you have an iPhone, Apple will let you know when an app is secretly recording you. So I'm not sure, because that feature is in beta. So if you have the beta version of the new iOS operating system for the phones and for the iPad, there's a feature in there. We don't have it yet. So when they roll out the not beta, when it's the upgrade,
yes,
that'll be in there and it'll explain it. Now I don't know what they've done with Instagram. Instagram may have, this is what they'll do. When they get caught, they'll turn it off and say, oh, that feature's been turned off months ago. This is what they say when they've been discovered. Or that was turned off weeks ago. And they just turned it off yesterday, but they'll lie about it. So, we don't collect that. We haven't done that in months. I believe TikTok just got caught with something like that, saying that they were gathering information on minors, but they stopped doing it weeks ago. When the story comes out, this is their response is, oh, we're not doing that. That was a test. We finished with that. That was months ago. So Yeah. She says they got quiet when this came out in July, never saw an update. Right. So we'll investigate that because I was paying attention to that. I haven't heard anything either, Gabby. So you're right. Thanks for bringing that up. But see,
Wow.
these are things that we need to pay attention to. Because you when you download an app, you use it and you go, everything's okay, but you got to read the terms of service. You have people, thankfully, that are looking at this kind of thing. They're called reverse engineers. There's one on Twitter that I follow. She always finds whatever Instagram is testing, and she'll report it like, "Oh, Instagram is testing this," because they look at the code. These
Yes.
engineers, these coding engineers, they look
Mm-hmm.
at the code behind the app with their tools. They have tools that let them look at the code of an app. So this is where all that information comes from.
Wow.
Somebody's looking at it and reporting it. So just be careful and don't even think that it's just TikTok. I listed a whole bunch of apps. There's many more apps that do things that they take over your well see, one is
Keyboard.
Alexa. Yeah,
Yeah.
one is Alexa. If you have it on your phone, well, it needs to be listening. So it's always in active mode to listen for the wake up word. Or you go into the app. No, Siri's the one that's always listening. But with the Alexa app, you have to go in and then you tap it. But a lot of these apps are always in like a listening mode and they're listening for the wait word. So they have to be on, is what I'm saying. And you might think, well, I don't like that. But otherwise the app wouldn't work properly. So Siri's one. What is Google has something? Google Assistant. It's always like, well, but look at the app before you use it. I remember maybe last year, 2 years ago, there was an app called Vero, and they were saying it was like Instagram, and it was gonna, get rid of Instagram, and everybody was
I
gonna go to
remember that.
Vero. Well, they found out it was a Russian app, and they were doing stuff. They were looking at stuff, and things were on, and the app kind of died. But I remember when it came out. hmm
Wow.
Remember
Okay.
it came out? We talked about it.
Yeah, I remember talking
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, and another point, Gabby, thank you for bringing this up, Gabby. This is very good information to know. She says, also beware of the emoji apps. They can access past, present, and future text on your phone. And Brenna says, hi, Brenna. Brenna says
Hi, Bren.
Bixby for Google. Now I haven't heard of Bixby. Is that like an assistant, a voice assistant app, or a separate app? Let me know about it. Okay. All right. So we're going to get on, because last week we didn't get on topic at all.
Okay.
We were having such a good time. We were having a great time with Pat and her situation, and we learned a lot, but we got a little bit off topic. So attention marketing, I really want to talk about this because this is where you need to know that just creating content by itself is not the way to get the attention marketing I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you create high quality content that engages, that attracts, that gets the attention of your audience. That's what I'm really talking about, because you can make content. Anybody can make content. Content is just, I have a thought right now and I'm going to post it on social media. But have you thought about, is this what your audience wants to hear? If they don't care about political stuff and you post a lot of political posts and things, opinionated stuff on any of your platforms, you might not get the response you want. Not saying that you can't post it. Everybody's free to post whatever they want within certain rules, and those rules are set by each platform. Right. You can't do hate speech, bullying, those kind of things. But I'm talking about normal content, and then you don't get a reaction, then you're going to go, well, that platform, the algorithm, and they do this, and they don't show my stuff. It's because you're not posting something that's going to get the attention. Because we always talk about fishing here, fishing and dating and gardening. What are those things that you do when you're fishing? You have to have the right bait, not just bait. You have to have the right bait. So I was watching a story on Sunday morning on CBS they were talking about fly fishing and how it was a different process from regular fishing and different bait and everything. But those are the things you have to know in order to attract the fish that you want. Because you could be sitting out there, flicking the thing back and forth and nothing happened, and you waste all day because you don't have the right bait. You didn't get the right thing that's going to get the nibbles to get the attention that you want. So that is one big key, that you have to post high engaging content that's targeted to, and I always say, have a niche market, have a niche audience, because they care about specific things. They don't care about general stuff. Like if you talk about jewelry, you can go even niche and say, well, I make a certain type of jewelry with a certain type of stone or gems or the metal. It's so fractured, is what I want to say. And then people think, well, I don't want to do that because I want to get everybody. I want to get everybody that buys jewelry. That's not a niche market. That's not the right bait. You need to think specifically, what is maybe if you're in the gold jewelry and you say, well, okay, I want to do a certain type. I want to do gold jewelry with a certain gemstone or crystals. Crystals are a big thing. There's a community of people that are into crystals. So see how this breaks out? So you don't want to just do jewelry, gold jewelry. You want to go, I want to do jewelry with crystals, a specific crystal that people like. Because you're in that community and you've done the research online and you know where the groups are on Facebook that talk about crystal jewelry, that use this specific type of crystal or crystals, because each of the crystals has a different meaning and thought behind it. So see how that gets you very specific niche audience. Because people who are into crystal jewelry and know the meaning behind, there's tons of different ones. They're not going to be attracted to something that's just jewelry.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the key things to think about. I'll just get back to my notes. So you want to have the high quality content, and then you want to create it because it's positive brand consumer association. It educates the audience and gives appreciation for your business and your expertise, because you're showing that you know what you're talking about and you're conveying real value with your content. Okay, so this is why I'm not a fan of automation per se, where you just set it and forget it. Now, there are automation tools that I like to use, like this Hootsuite, this Buffer. There's a couple for Instagram, but I don't want you to set it and forget it. You want to use it to make scheduling easier. Or there's even some of these social media tools that will have a graphic part that they give you templates like Canva. Like they have Canva integrated, it not exactly Canva, but a Canva-like tool inside where you go, okay, I'm going to schedule a post. And they say, okay, cool. Here's some templates you might want to use, or you might want to use as a base and customize it. And remember, I think I said before, if you use Canva or any of these that have templates, you don't want to cookie cutter it. You want to use it as a stepping stone, as the beginning to creating your custom niche content that's going to attract your custom niche audience. And how do you do that? Because you know you're the expert. Even if you call yourself an expert, if you have knowledge of a subject, you can call yourself an expert. Just like Terolina, I remember when she was saying about, making an outfit using Italian silk. Because I'm like, okay, she knows about the Italian silk. I don't. I was like, oh, there's different kinds of silk. I just thought silk. But see, that's another part where you niche it down. If you're talking about doing fashion, you don't talk about fashion. You talk about a specific part of fashion. That's why there's so many fashion bloggers, so many people on Instagram with accounts, because they have different. Fashion is one of those things where it's creativity is involved. So you could have men's fashion, women's fashions. You could focus on a certain designer. You could focus on a certain fabric, a style, and it's always changing. So that's where you keep up. You keep up with the trends. You make sure you educate yourself on what's new and what's different, because what you talk about a year ago is going to be different from what you talk about now. So that's the part where you're constantly evolving with knowledge and giving out value, because you're getting the information and you're processing it with your experience, and then you put it out as content. See, you do that. So that's a part of it. You're not just going to post, well, I got to post something. Oh, it's 9 a.m. I got to post something on Instagram because the marketing guru, the guy, whoever I follow said, you must post on Instagram between 9 and 11. We already debunked that. I said that you look at your analytics for your account. If you have a business account, you have
Mhm.
analytics, and it tells you when your audience is on Instagram. And you just post it then, see what kind of engagement you, like I said, it's fishing. You're going to put the content out. You're going to get a nibble, see what kind of nibble you get. You might get a whole bunch of bites. You might get a shark instead of a bunch of nibbles. But you're going to know that because you use your analytics. And then Facebook has it for your Facebook page. Twitter has it. Pinterest has it. Whenever you have a business account on all of these platforms, you're going to get analytics. So you need to use that data, that information, use that data. It's going to help you. It's going to refine your strategy so you don't go, it takes the guesswork out of it. So you know when your audience is on, you know what content they engage the most with you because the analytics will tell you. So you use all of that information for the attention marketing that I'm talking about because you want to refine your posts. You want to make content that gets the engagement. And there's different types. Right now, what's popular everywhere is stories. Stories. And I think I said this maybe in 2017. Ross Brand has a livestreamuniverse.com. He has a website. He's a live streamer. Every year he puts out like a prediction post in December. And I think I did mine in 2017 about stories blowing up, being the biggest thing ever. Here we are in 2020. What's the attention? Stories or short content. Yeah. Stories in the form of short form content. It could be photos, it could be text, it could be video. So you see the explosion of TikTok. That's short form content. That's stories. The videos are 15 seconds, 30 seconds. And you just string them along as clips to make a long video. And you catch the attention because TikTok will show your videos to those who are interested. That's really what it is. And
that's what Quibi was supposed to be about?
Well, yeah, Quibi was supposed it's kind of like that where it's short form content where you're not watching an hour program.
Yes.
Here's the deal with, and this ties in with podcasting. You know, a lot of podcasts, I follow one podcast that's like 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Podcasting used to be an hour. Oh, who's got time for that? Podcasts are now, if you want to be successful with your podcast, make it 20, 30 minutes. But you can make an hour if the audience indicates that they want that long form content from you. And how do you know that? You do surveys, you ask, or you look at your analytics. But you got to talk to the guys in your audience that's following you and say, you know, do you guys like this hour format or do you want me to break it up into 30 minutes? And they'll tell you. Or you'll look at what you're posting, especially this works especially well on YouTube. YouTube analytics will show you watch time. That means when people drop off. So if they drop off after 20 minutes, then you know, hey, I got to make my video 20 minutes or less or whatever the time is. But YouTube will give you that information. You just have to pay attention to it.
Okay, well, Gabby says, let's see.
Okay, yeah, let's put.
I think that's why Reels is crashing and burning on IG. It's the same as stories. I think, is it really that good? I agree.
I agree with that. It's just stories. There's nothing to differentiate Reels between stories and Reels. Reels are supposed to be this great thing that was like TikTok, and it's not. Because see, the thing about TikTok is the algorithm that shows you what you want exactly when you want to see it. And then the editing features in TikTok. They have so many editing features that you can add to your video to make it more interesting. That's the
and it's not convoluted. I mean,
yeah,
5-year-olds are using it. You know what I mean?
You say you saying your grandson or someone.
My granddaughter is 5.
Mm-hmm.
She set it up for. I'm like, what?
A 5-year-old, guys.
A 5-year-old.
5.
There was a millennial standing there. Then there was my grandson who's 13 and my grandson who's 11. They didn't know how. She took. Oh, let me see.
Gabby's laughing. I laughed too when she told us. She told us I was like 5. She said yes,
and
5.
She set it up in less than 2 minutes. and we took the first video of her and the youth pastor doing some little
they do duets. You can take somebody else's video and dance or sing or whatever along to it or respond to it. There's a green screen. There's so many different things to catch your eye. See, this is what it is about TikTok. It's attention getting. It catches your eye and it gives you what you want. It doesn't show you stuff you don't want. So with Instagram and Reels, you got to hunt and peck and find the thing. And first you got to figure out how to do the reel. But here's another key that I'm mad with. If you have a business page on Instagram, you don't have music to go with it. So music, another part of it that you don't have. So you have to switch from a business account, which I don't want. So I'm like, Reels, I really don't need you. And here's another thing. People are still using TikTok, downloading their TikTok videos and uploading them to Reels. So they're bypassing the creation part altogether on Reels. So what was the point? Like Gabby says, it's the same thing as stories, the same features as stories. So I might as well just make a story. Why do I have to figure out Reels? I don't. It's something that who asked for it? Nobody. I mean, really, who here has used Reels? I know Gabby has, but anybody else?
I have not used it. I haven't even gone over there to look.
Charlie says she don't even know where to find Reels.
I just like,
where
know what?
Is it?
They have so much going on Facebook's apps. I was telling you this morning that it's just too convoluted sometimes to even bother.
So, and get ready for this. Facebook is going to say, well, we're going to make you use Reels. They're going to put it on Facebook too. Watch and see. It's going to go over to Facebook to make you use it.
The whole Rooms thing is enough. Rooms is not bad. It's easy to use, but enough is enough. Like
I agree because I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, let me check out the Reels," and I looked at it. And I was like, "This thing." We said on one of the tech shows, the Tech Friday shows, we said this thing is like a knockoff bag that you get from Chinatown.
Exactly. Let's see. Pat has a comment here. She says somebody needs to come up with, what is this?
Faux Reels.
Faux Reels. Okay.
Yeah. And Gabby says when you create a story, you swipe to the left and you'll see it in the story live option. Yeah. There's nothing. If you're already using Instagram and you use TikTok, you might use it. But people who use TikTok are going to use TikTok and they download the video. Because you know how many TikTok videos I've seen on Twitter? I don't even have to go to my TikTok app. I go to Twitter because they upload them everywhere from TikTok. So that's your key right there. They're creating the content on TikTok and just sharing it everywhere else, which is what you're supposed to do. You're really supposed to do. You do the one content, you say, hey, and you can tell it's TikTok because TikTok puts their branding on it.
Got the brand in there.
Yeah. And your username. I mean, that's how I found people on TikTok to follow because they put it on Twitter. It was something funny or cute or whatever, and it has their username. So you go to TikTok and look up their username
and follow them.
Yeah, follow them on TikTok. So it works both ways. But I mean, you have to do things for attention marketing. You have to think about the things that the type of content. You don't want to stick with one type. You don't want it to be boring. You want it to be specific. You want it to have value and be entertaining. Man, that's a lot of work. Isn't that a lot of work? But I told you there was going to be a lot of work. So, I mean, I had something I wanted to bring up just real quick. Let me see real quick because I'm running out of time. That about attention. Hold on. I lost it. I had it queued up. Oh, there it is. There has been some studies about attention and the time that people spend on attention. So Microsoft conducted a study in 2000 measuring how long people can focus on one thing for a specific amount of time. The results showed the average person's attention span was 12 seconds. But that was 2000. That was 2000. With 2020, it's now dropped to 8 seconds or less. So you got 8 seconds to get the attention that you're seeking. the consumer attention. So they're saying that, you know, it's because of abundance of information presented. So much demands our attention that we can only focus on each new trend for a short time. So did you hear that? We can only focus on things for a short amount of time, and it's getting shorter. The attention span. So remember, they said the attention span was 12 seconds. Now it's 8 seconds. I would say probably now maybe 6 seconds. Maybe. But that's a short amount of time. So that means you have to do what? More work to get the initial eyeball to connect. Eyeballs meaning you get them to stick on your content. Because, you know, take for example, Instagram. When you go into Instagram, what happens? You have to scroll, right? To get you see all your posts. And you're not going to stop on something that's not going to get your attention, because guess what? We were just talking about the 12 seconds, now it's 6 seconds, 8 seconds. And then they move on. Why? Because there's so many things to focus on. So the key to that is you got to make sure that you connect with an audience. You got to connect with the audience, a specific audience, not just everybody that likes jewelry. Like I said before, you want to maybe get the people that are in crystals and that want gold jewelry instead of silver. So see how all of that breaks down. And that's an audience. It's a niche audience. It's a smaller audience, but they're dedicated because they care about that topic. So when you make content for that, you're going to get the attention, and then you need to draw that with a call to action to your business website, your Shopify, wherever, newsletter, whatever you're doing to get them into your system of buying from you. You need to draw them to that. But you have to do it with the attention, because otherwise they're not going to, you're standing over there, hey, I'm doing this over here. And it's like being a billboard that people pass by and don't look at. Think about billboards still exist. People still advertise on billboards, but what are the ones that get the attention? They stand out more. They have things that wave, or they have things that pop out, or the text is just text.
Hey, Tachi.
Right?
Hey,
Tachi.
It's in the house.
Yeah, hey. So, I mean, those are some of the things you need to think about with attention marketing. I mean, there's other things you can do, other types of content. You can do surveys. You can do infographics. I talked about podcasting. That's one of the ways to get the attention, but you're going to have to make it to where you're doing it. What did I say? Short form. Like one of the podcasts I have is like 5 minutes, but it does what I need in 5 minutes. You know, it says what it needs to say. Boom. I know there's going to be another one tomorrow or whenever it is, but it's not an hour podcast, because even though we're at home with the pandemic, people are still not focusing on things just because they're not captives. We're at home, but we're not captives to, okay, they're at home. They're really going to look at my content. No, it still has to be engaging, entertaining, valuable, all of those things we talk about. And how do you get that? You know what you need to do. Like I said, you have the knowledge, you have the information. Now you got to package it into something that gets the attention. So that's, we say not education, entertaining, something that stands out, all of that stuff. So again, it's work, but you have to sit down and plan it. And you can do that just, a couple days ahead or a week ahead and say, I want to talk about this thing. What's the way I can present it as content online that's going to get the most attention? See, a lot of people do poll. A lot of platforms have poll feature. That's another way to get short form attention. Stories is another way to get the short form attention. TikTok right now, because it's trending. It's trending. So you want to pay attention to trends, but you don't want to live by them. So a good way to pay attention to trends is Google Trends. Has anybody heard of Google Trends? Go to Google Trends. Type Google Trends and you'll see it. Google tracks what's getting the attention right now today.
Okay.
So real quick, I'm going to go to Trends because I have it on my phone as, I tap on it, and I don't even have a tap on it. Trending on Google, popular right now: weather, tropical storms, Atlantic, North Korea, something. Let me see. California plague, South Lake Tahoe. I got a bunch of stuff popping up. So when I go to Google on my phone, it says Google Trends. So it's trends.google.com for the desktop. So the URL is trends.google.com. So here, trends is daily and in real time. That means right this second. So I'm going to tap on real time. Okay, so Donald Trump, Susan B. Anthony, women's suffrage. Okay, so the day is the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution. That means women's right to vote. There's something about the Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj on Netflix. Something about Russian interference in the 2016. Something about the bubonic plague, Walmart, Florida. So that's what's going on real time. But they also have a daily tab that says today, number one, Susan B. Anthony. 100,000 searches, 19th Amendment, 50,000 searches, 50K. Number three, Andrew Cuomo, 20K searches. Vote necklace. If you don't know, if you didn't watch the Democratic convention, which started last night, Michelle Obama had on a vote necklace. It was very small. It wasn't gigantic. It was little letters that said VOTE. And I saw that last night when I was watching her. So that's trending number 4 today. And the Google Trends you can set by global or United States or, by locality. Okay. Google. Okay. So, hold on. There's some comments. I'm going to get to them. Gabby says Google Trends is very helpful. See, I'm not the only one that knows about Google Trends. It is very helpful. And, Gabby says, wait, did you say tropical storms? Yeah, that one of the things was trending with some tropical storm. And Brenda says, I get annoyed when I'm not given more info to make an educated decision. I'm a gatherer. I need the info to be valuable. 6 seconds is too short to elevate perceived values. Yes, I agree with you, Gabby, but this is the world that we're living in, especially when I talk about Gen Z. This is what they don't sit still and watch an hour program, a 30-minute program. That's why we have Quibi. Because Terralina brought that up earlier about Quibi. That was the whole idea behind it, because everything is short and quick. But see, listen, if your audience is Gen Z, maybe your audience is boomers, they might like an hour program of something. They may like a long blog post of something because they actually read, because we grew up reading newspapers, actual papers that came to your house. Remember that? Paper boy would throw it in your yard. Remember that? They don't, Gen Z, that they don't do that. They get their information on social media or Facebook or newsletters they sign up for or TikTok.
Or condense things. What is like skim?
Skim. Yeah, skim is one of those things where it's a condensed version. It's like they don't want to read the newspaper, they just want the headlines. So I mean, I don't know what do we what do we do? And then Dodgy says yes, LOL. Yeah. So this is the content world we're living in, where you have to know your audience. Gabby says, yes, I remember patiently waiting for my dad to give me the comic section. Yeah, me too. Yeah, on Sunday. Remember the Sunday newspaper that had the
comics were great too. Yeah.
Kids don't do that. They have YouTube and TikTok, Instagram.
And their humor is different too.
Is it what?
Their sense of humor is different.
Oh, yes. They talk in meme world. They talk emojis and memes. The memes turn over so fast, I stopped trying to keep up with it. Tachi says, Gen Z is also not fit to get out there and deliver papers. Exactly. They're not doing that. That's physical work.
Well, there's no market for it anyway.
Yeah, people aren't, and I think we mentioned before, I was saying about subscriptions, that the newspapers are all online and it's all subscription. It's all $1 a week or whatever. That's where they're moving to, because they're putting. And then I hate this, but I understand what they're doing. Like Business Insider, Ad Week, and different things like that. They have regular stories that you can see for free. But if it's a really interesting story, they say, oh, you have to join Business Insider Prime, which is $6.99 a month, or you have to join this, and this is 99 cents a week, or this, so the good juicy stories that you want the information on, you have to get behind. It's called a paywall. You have to get behind the paywall. Gabby says, I only see people my age delivering papers. See? And Jill, hi Jill. Jill says Joe Rogan has 2-3 hour on average podcast, and he creates. Oh, hold on, the little thing is moving. Joe Rogan has 2 to 3 hour on average podcast, and he creates multiple few-minute clips for each podcast, so appeals to both, and perhaps even an intro, so one might choose to listen to the whole podcast if the clip piques interest. Yes, that's a good point. And then she says, good morning, Jill. Glad you're here. Now, Joe Rogan, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good example of long form content that people are listening to. So Joe Rogan's podcast, like Jill said, 2 to 3 hours. And it was on YouTube. Well, some of his old stuff, but his new stuff is now on Tachi. Did he move to Sirius? He has an exclusive deal with Sirius XM for his podcast. Tachi, let me know. I'm thinking it's Sirius XM. Well, anyway, he's on an exclusive platform, and that's where you get his content now. And it's 2 to 3 hours, but his audience stays for the 2 to 3 hours because of him, his brand, his attitude, the way he conducts his show, the way he presents his content. Now, like Jill says, he will break it up, and he's done. Joe Rogan has done Spotify. Thank you, Jill. So he's on Spotify. I don't know why somebody's on Sirius XM. I was reading, but that's another thing. But see, he's exclusively on Spotify now. So you have to same thing with Michelle Obama. She's exclusive. Her podcast is on Spotify, so you have to go to Spotify. So these are the deals that they're making. I think he signed like an enormous amount of Joe Rogan signed an enormous amount of money to have his podcast be exclusively on Spotify. But his podcast is long. I've caught a couple. He had one of the guys talking about coronavirus in March or something, or even before. He had this guy on more than once. He's an infectious disease specialist, something with viruses. And he was on, and I listened to the whole thing because I'm like, I wanted to know more. This was in the early days. We didn't know much about coronavirus and what was going on. So he came on and explained it. And his content, it's not 20 minutes. It's engaging. It's the way he interviews. It's the people he has on. He had Elon Musk on. I think Elon Musk came on and smoked marijuana, something he did, and everybody got up.
That was his show where he smoked the joint. Yeah.
That was Joe Rogan. He went on Joe Rogan. There's a couple other things, Joe Rogan. So that's what I mean about knowing your audience. You can do a 2 to 3 hour thing if your audience is receptive and wants that kind of thing. And then also, like Jill said, they take the 2 to 3 hours and they take the most important, like the part where Elon Musk, they take that and they put it on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and they put it everywhere. People watch that little 60 seconds or whatever, the little nugget, whatever the time amount is, and they go, wow, I want to see the rest. Where is it? It used to be YouTube. His stuff, I think his stuff is still there, but his new stuff is Spotify. So if you want to see the whole pie and not get a little sliver, you have to go to Spotify. Spotify likes that because you go to Spotify and you either listen to the free. I'm not sure if his is behind the paywall, but you buy Spotify membership, right? So it works out.
Another happy subscription.
Yeah. So that's why I said Friday. Things are really going the subscription route behind a paywall. You have to pay $1 a week, or you have to do this or whatever to get the good stuff. But they're putting out little snippets, like Jill said. Thank you for bringing up Joe Rogan, Jill. That's a good example. He's putting little snippets of scintillating. It gets your attention. You want more. It's like popcorn, potato. You eat one chip. Do you eat one chip? Do you eat one popcorn? Oh, I'm just gonna have one kernel of popcorn and that's it. No, you sitting there watching a movie or watching TV, sitting on the couch or wherever, and you're like, so that's what it is. Joe Rogan has popcorn content. Oh, I like that popcorn content. Yeah. So Brenna's leaving. Thank you for watching, Brenna. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your comments. I always love your point of view.
Yes, has a nice point
because she brings a different perspective. You know, everybody does. Everybody here that you're here every day, every week. We love that because that's a part conversation. You know, we're here talking about. I bring you a topic and I say this, that, and that, and that. But I'm not. That's not the end of the conversation, the discussion. Like I said, you guys bring your perspective, your opinion, your thoughts, your comments, all of those things in the mix, and we learn what we need to learn. It's entertaining because Terralina will make us laugh, or somebody will come along. Carlos, Mark, all the funny people will come and put their opinions in. So that's how we like to have things here. So thank you guys for watching. I know we're a little over. We always go a little over. You can't stop ourselves. We can't help it. But I hope you learned, what you need to know about attention marketing. I will be talking about this topic again.
Okay.
But I wanted to bring it up as it relates to your content. Because see, there's another level. The content marketing has so many levels that you got to put on. And like I said, it's a lot of work. But if you do it often enough, you get used to doing it and you find shortcuts and it gets easier and easier to do. It's like cooking. When you first learn how to make a new dish, didn't it take like hours? And then if you keep doing it, like brownies, I can make brownies in my sleep, like But when you're first making something new like that, you're like, oh, a half a cup of this, a fourth a teaspoon of this, a teaspoon of vanilla, this and that, and you're like, things are all over the kitchen, like flour flying. The cookbook is all got food splattered, but once you do it a couple times and you get the rhythm of it in the system, you're like, oh, I don't even need the cookbook. You just bloop, bloop, bloop. That's how it is. That's how your content marketing strategy will be. It sounds like a whole lot right now. Yeah. It sounds like a whole lot, but you keep doing it over and over and you'll get the hang of it. Okay.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you have questions, you know where to find me.
She's Tachi can see you with flour all over your face.
Oh, she's laughing at the flour. So if you want to know, if you have a suggestion for a topic or you want more detail or you want to set up an appointment and we can talk for a few minutes and get more information, whatever, find me at Terry Johnson Online. I'm everywhere. If you want Facebook, go there. Instagram, Twitter. We did Twitch today, wherever. Find me there and you know where to find the Biz Chicks. Oops, what happened? I think I lost Terralina. All right, so find me there and I will see you guys later. We will see you tomorrow. So tomorrow is Wednesday. We will have Coach Karen on the bit. There she is. Like, what happened? You just
I have no idea. I told you. Sometimes you mouse over things and it just next thing you know you're on the outside of the studio. Oh my goodness.
I'm like, whatever. Yeah, okay. So Tachi says takes time. And Gabby says, thank you. Have a great week. Thank you, Gabby.
Good one, ladies.
And I was trying to find the Biz Chicks, the text.
Yes, but I don't see it. But you can text Biz to 33777.
Yes. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What happened?
I don't know, because I was in here, I was looking at it, I didn't see it. I think that's how I got
oh, okay.
distracted. Yeah.
But see, that's how it goes. Live streaming, anything can happen. See, that's the entertaining part of the show. Like,
live TV.
She went poof, and then she came back. So tomorrow, I was saying that Wednesday is Coach Karen.
Yes, Wednesday's Coach Karen. I found the banner to join Biz Chicks. Text Biz to 33777. Okay. All right, guys.
And then Jill says the background. Thank you, Jill. We're trying to switch it up. Trying to switch it up.
So we want you to remember that Thursday also we're going to have Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shamizu and friends, and Friday we talk tech and English over here on Biz Chicks. Yep. Be sure to follow Terry Johnson online everywhere on the web if you want more valuable information just like this. So she says you can find me at Terry Johnson online. All right, guys, we love you, and we want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys for being a part of the show. Oh, and the replay viewers, we always love you. Leave your comments, your thoughts, and everything, and we will respond. So thank you very much. So we will see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.